everybody, to Advanced Manifestation Community for Seasoned Entrepreneurs, which is you. And I'm Cory Michelle. Today's topic is stop using your emotions to manifest. Do this instead for better results. All right. I'm super excited about this topic because I have a handout for you and hopefully I can show it to you. Actually, let me see if I can. So I sure can. Oh my goodness, this is the first time I've ever shared on this particular platform. So I'm going to try that right now. Let's see here. Let's see if I can do it. Oh, I can. All right. I am super excited about this. Okay. So before I do that, before we go there, now that I know I can do it, let's just talk about this. So why do we not want to use our emotions to manifest? Why is there a better way? And I'm going to give you straight up the very simple answer to that. It's because emotions are oftentimes connected to stories that are replaying in your world. Where are those stories? Those stories are contained in your subconscious, your past, your memories. Okay. And when we have emotions come up, you think about happy. Happy is connected to all of these emotions. Dissatisfied is connected to all of these emotions and stories, right? And it's all coming from your past. So if we're trying to manifest through our emotions that are unconsciously connected to stories from the past, those are all contained and housed in our subconscious that are being run by an unconscious identity. Now, if you haven't heard me talk about it before, I'll just give you the brief overview. And your unconscious identity is your automatic you. The you oftentimes we think we are, that we've gotten solidified into our world through our childhood, through our experiences. And once you've had a 3D breakthrough, which is usually your awakening to some sort of level of self-awareness and self-responsibility in life, then you step into playing in the 4D consciousness where you're like, okay, I have powered through, I have done all the things, I've made it, and now I still feel like there's more that's possible. Why can't I have it? So even if you're in your sort of what I call the fourth dimensional identity, I was going to say ID, it didn't make quite sense. Your fourth dimensional identity, which is like, yes, I'm self-empowered, then what you've done is you've created an identity that is now self-empowered, right? But so many of you guys are stepping into, especially being seasoned manifestors, you know all the things, you've read all the books, you've done the stuff, right? You've taken classes and you're like, okay, yeah, but there's more that's available. There's magic that's available, right? So why can't I have it by continuing to do these things? Well, we've got to look at this subconscious identity and what is in there. Okay. And once we start looking at that, we can find the answers to your questions of, why am I not being able to create this? Or why is this not showing up yet? Or I know something else is available. How can I have it if it's just not showing up? All right. So basically, to reframe these emotions that oftentimes we try to use for manifesting, a lot of people will talk about that, use your emotions. Well, if your emotions are connected to your past and your unconscious identity, they're not likely going to work to create the future that you actually want. So I have a different route, but I want to show you this first. So let me know if you're watching. Hello, hello. I see a bunch of you on right now. Say hi in the chat. I would love to see you. And while I pull this up and we just dive right in here. So let me share my screen. Share screen, sharing the screen. I love this little, oh, hello. Okay, I can see you guys. Hey, Jackie and Karen and Judith and Jane and Malia, Beth. Hello, hello. Welcome, you guys. Okay, so let's look at this. All right, can you guys see this okay? Oh, you can see me too. Oh, how fantastic is that? Okay, so this little image that I'm going to share with you. Hey, Christina. Awesome. Hey, Amy. Okay, so this is from the session number 2 in my program called Transform Yourself program, where you transform from 4D to 5D consciousness. Okay. Now, this program is for people who are stuck in 4D, who have been trying all the things, have been using all their self-empowerment, and they feel like they have a ceiling, whether it's a problem and they're like, oh, I'm frustrated, or they're just like, I know so much more is possible and I know I'm ready for another transformation. Because what you have to do to transform your identity from 40 to 50 is you have to go through a whole nother transformation, just like you did when you went from 3D to 40. Okay, so this is my specialty. This is what I work with people, is gaining momentum as your 5D consciousness. Okay, so let's just look at this real quick here. So I have got this beautiful, I love my little image here. So this is called the energetic addiction cycle. Okay, what we're going to talk about. Now, this is where when we are having repeated energies or emotions really show up, oftentimes they're connected to the subconscious, and they're also connected biologically. So they're connected to our fight or flight, they're connected to our adrenaline, they're connected to our hormones, they're connected to the way we feel, right? Just like if we feel afraid, then we're probably not going to do something, right? Unless you're in the band of, or in the group of feel the fear and do it anyway, right? So let's look at this. So we have, I'll just read this aloud here. Energetic addictions are identified through energies and emotions that are consistently showing up in your life. Okay, if it's consistent, so you're consistently disappointed, you're consistently frustrated, you're consistently depressed, you're consistently whatever. Now, you could have an energetic addiction to happiness or joy as well. Oftentimes, that's not one people have a problem with. If we're already there, that's great. That means that it's not actually an addiction, it's actually the way you normally function as an energetic being. Okay. Now, if they're showing up in your life, so they are your system's way, your whole system's way of showing you where your baseline is. So if you have these energetic addictions, it's actually your body, your mind, body, spirit working together to show you where you're at, what your baseline is. Okay. Now, it's oftentimes that energetic addictions are distracting you by making you feel a certain way. Okay. I don't feel like it. Who said that? Let me know in the chat. Have you ever said, I don't feel like it? Okay. That's an energetic addiction. Okay. Whatever that energy is, whatever that emotion's bringing up, that's going to the past, a past reference point of saying, oh, that's the way I felt before. I don't feel like I don't have whatever I think I need to move forward. But that is an energetic addiction because there is zero awareness, zero moment for, whoa, what would this create if I chose this, right? I don't feel like it. Now, I've been caught in that a lot, especially over COVID times, right? For me, it's been like, I just don't feel like it. And when I caught myself, I went, wow, that is an energy that I've been basking in. While it feels nice and relaxing, it's creating shit. So I'm always looking at, is my choice in this, or is this thing I'm saying to myself in my head creating what I want? Now, you've got to be, to make this work, you've got to be clear on your targets. You've got to be clear on what you would like to create in your life, what you would like to manifest. If you're not clear on that, then these energetic addictions just take over, and you have no basis for figuring out, hey, is this an energetic addiction? Is it actually awareness? Is it something that's blocking me, or what's going on here? Okay. So let's look at this. You have this subconscious identity energy system, right? And you have this awareness. You say, ooh, I'll have that. Just pick what's something that you'd like to manifest, create, have in your reality right now, and share it with me in the comments. You go, ooh, I'll have that. I'll have that. Now, in the 5D Vibe Tribe yesterday, our shift session where we rewire your subconscious was all about bringing in, receiving large sums of money that you get to keep. So we'll just take that. Some of the numbers people were saying was, I'll have 100 grand. Right? I'll have 100 grand lump sum show up for me. Okay. You say yes to that. Okay. You're like, yeah, I'll have that. Right. It brings up a feeling or emotion here. Okay. You're light, excited, expanded. Okay. You're going, yes, I'm having all the feels. Right. Then all of that loop goes in and connects with your subconscious identity and your energy system down here. And we go, let's see where that fits in. Does that fit into something that's possible, or does that fit into something that I'm going to be disappointed about, or that's never going to happen, or that I don't deserve, or maybe I'm not even worthy about that, right? So it goes into your subconscious filing system and goes, where does this match? Where does this match? Where does this go? Where does this match? Where does this desire, target match with the energy and match with your filing system? So we're going to the subconscious to figure it out. Okay. And this is all happening automatic within moments. Okay. Now, what happens is we activate the familiar. Okay, so it finds the right filing system according to your past, and we go, boom, wait a second, 100 grand. Last time I had 100 grand, I blew it. Last time I wanted 100 grand, it never came, or I got it and then I had a big bill, right? We start activating doubt, fear, frustration, disappointment. Okay, and what that does is we went from all expanded, excited down to doubt, fear, worry. Ooh, I'd have to give it all away if I really got it, or whatever other beliefs are in there. Okay. And that activates that lower level. So now you've gone from expanded, filed that energy away to go, no, that's not really where that goes. It goes down here. So we're going to doubt that that's going to happen. So even though you just connected in that expanded energy, your system goes, no, not going to go there. I'm going to take you to where it really belongs, which is you should doubt this is even possible. Don't even think about it. Or, you're really going to be disappointed when it doesn't happen. Don't get your hopes up, Missy. Okay. So now we get all of this, lower level energy down there. Now, what happens is then all the old stories come up. All the old identity patterns and beliefs start showing up as well. Frustration, disappointment, like working hard of now I got to make it happen. I got to hustle, right? And do all the things. And then we're just like, fuckity fuck. Like, what the fuck? It was so expansive. Why is it not showing up? Why is this seeming blocked? Well, here's the block right here. Right here, this little filing system in your subconscious identity and your energy system. That's where the block is. And it's not really a block. It's actually your subconscious here is working perfectly. It's just not aligned and programmed to what you are saying you would like to have. That's it. Okay. And this is totally changeable right here. This whole, wow, I wish I had a pointer here. There we go. I don't know if you can see that. This whole subconscious identity and energy system can be reprogrammed. So let's talk about how to do that. Now, let's actually one more thing about energetic addiction. So energetic addictions, it's possible. Something is possible. You're like, tune in. You're like 100 grand. Yeah. Okay. Or having a balance of work and pleasure, like having what you would like, receiving everything that you asked for, living magical, right? Losing the weight, whatever it is that you want to have, just ease in life, happiness. Okay. It's possible. And because you can tune into it means it actually is possible, period. It's full stop. If you can tune into it and experience that expanded energy, right? And go, ooh, yeah, that would be amazing. Okay, then it's possible. It is in your field of possibilities. Okay, now it's possible here, right? And then we go and try to do all the things, right? Then we go, ooh, I have a block, so now I got to go clear myself. Ooh, I need to go make it happen. I got to hustle, push. Ooh, I got to come up with a plan to do all the things, right? Or whatever it is that you're patterned to do. Or if you're patterned to, tell me if this is you, go out and find the answer so then you can implement it, but then it still doesn't work. Okay, I've been there. That was me. Okay, not following my own awareness to follow my own, like trust myself, right? So we look outside of ourselves. Okay, now we do this 5D future activation. We have a whole perspective shift. Okay, we're going to shift from stopping trying to do and be all the time. This is our old identity that's like, yes, I can do it. I can have this breakthrough. To start trusting yourself, right? Start trusting, start going, wait a second, what if all that stuff that's coming up isn't actually important or even valuable to what I'm perceiving in this moment right now? Because anything that's going backwards is all from your past. And guess what? Your past does not exist anymore until you continue to reference it. It does not exist. It's in the past. The only thing that we have is this moment. So if we can start reprogramming to say, wait a second, is this from the past or is this even relevant to this moment? You can say, no, it's from my past. It's from that one time that thing happened, or that repetitive thing where I was always disappointed. Aha, but what if I don't have to be disappointed anymore? What if I don't have to hustle anymore? What if I can have all that's available to me? Okay. Now we upgrade, or the 5D future self, which we're bringing into the now. So it's really not going to be a future self for very long. We're bringing that into embody now. Activates through upgraded priorities right here, upgraded priority standards and values, being radically curious, being so curious about the things that have seemed so real and solid to you in the past, making congruent actions and choices, and consciously rewiring your consciousness, because your whole consciousness is malleable. There is nothing stuck or fixed about you. You are all just pure energy moving around. Those old files, we can dump them. We can actually release your old identities so you forget who you even were before if you want to. That sounds scary for some people, but it's amazing to forget the old limited you. Now, the last one is changing your lens or your perspective. Okay. Then, or the last one's actually changing your energy. In every moment, you can choose your energy. So this is why I like to use energy instead of emotions, because emotions have so much baggage. Whereas your energy in the moment, you can choose to be any energy in a moment that you would like to have. Okay. So tapping into the wisdom of your future self, and know that you can be that version now. And not just know you can be it someday, but be that version now. So if we go back up here and go, wait a second, that heart's desire, that 100 grand, wait a second. Those are old programs. What if I can perceive this in this moment differently and shift my energy back to this feeling or this experience of that lightness and that expansion? Okay. Now, if you don't know, first of all, if you don't know this is running the show, then it will run the show, right? Until you realize that one of your greatest superpowers is reprogramming your operating system. Okay, so let's go into this last page here. So the 5D creation sequence, number one being you. You're like, yes, I will have that 100 grand. I don't care if people judge me for it. I don't care if people think they want it all. I don't care if in the past it's never happened. I'm going to have that. Okay, so we're like getting really congruent. We're getting aligned. We're getting centered. It's expansive. We're like, yes, tuning into that the feeling and the emotion. So the emotion here is less about the stories and more about the energy and motion of like, woo, what does it feel like? Oh, that makes me really happy. That makes me feel satisfied. That makes me feel successful, right? So then when it pops back, it's like, woo, feels amazing. Now we have more consciousness. So this subconscious identity and energy system, embodying this new congruent, yes, I'll have that. Yes, I'm having that right now. I've just manifested the experience of it. Boom, you just literally connected to the actualization of it. Okay. If your system looks for an old file and there's a new response from the 5D consciousness, here's what happens. You might get triggered and go, ooh, I don't know how I'm going to make that 100 grand happen. I don't know where that could come from. And then you go, well, wait a second. What if I don't have to know? So you make a pivot. In the moment, make a pivot. Don't go down the rabbit hole of, I don't know, maybe it's not possible. You go pivot. And that's transmuting that energy in the moment from that filing system. Okay. And you're responding differently. So you're responding differently. You're saying, no, we're not going there. Or maybe you go there for 5 minutes, or maybe you go there for a day or a week, but then you pivot out of it. Okay. So the point, the whole challenge is to get to the point where you can pivot out of any energy like that. You don't have your emotions connected to your past and your old identity controlling you. Okay. So this is where the 5D conscious comes in, because we know that none of that is real in terms of the moment. We know that it's all from our past. Okay. Now what happens, here's the brilliance. You're being your 5D unicorn self, and you're like, I don't have to go there anymore. I can actually shift my perspective and be in a different energy like that. All right, now we're being our 5D self. We're shifting our energy. We're choosing differently, right? We're getting centered again to who you are becoming, not who you were. Then guess what? Your energy goes out. Boom, into the universe. The sparkle glitter bombs go to the universe. They're talking to your whole field of consciousness. The universe, which is the universe, gets your message for a different and congruent. Says, oh, wait, that old file, we're not doing that anymore. Oh, we just got an old reference point. We're pivoting from that. Here's what we're having now. And then what happens is the more you pivot into embodying what it is you would actually like to have, and you're saying yes to, that is energetically what your awareness is saying is yes. Okay. Then what happens is the more you do that, the less dominant this old identity becomes. And what becomes dominant is this new identity. Okay, that has this. Now, whatever ends up happening is this 5D reality manifests. And in the 5D reality, which is you're shifted with your perspective and your reprogramming your identity to be able to unattach from these emotions. Now, I will say this, there are some emotions, well, actually, let me say this. If you've done a lot of work on your emotions already, I'm talking to you. If you've never done any work with your emotions, you've never really looked at where they're coming from and what they're connected to from your past, you might want to do that. Okay. This is not about bypassing emotions, because there are emotions that need to come up and come out and to be addressed. What we're talking about here specifically is ones for manifesting. Okay. And when you've done the work and you're like, yeah, I've already looked at that, that's just an old pattern repeating itself, then this is where we can start pivoting really fast. Okay. Now, sometimes we can pivot out of that old stuff really quickly because we realize and we start developing the consciousness that, guess what? All that old stuff is still just old stuff. And is there anything else I need to deal with? No. Okay, move on. Or maybe it's a yes, and you deal with that. Okay. So I don't want to. So some people say, oh, it's just bypassing emotions. It's not actually what we're doing here. What we're doing here is giving you the ability to pivot when the time is right. Okay. Then when we're doing that, when we're able to pivot like that, what starts to happen is you're layering in this version of you who has so much ease with the energetic mastery, where you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna tune more into this energy because that is more congruent with the future I'd like to have. Okay. And the more and more we can do that, it's more about the energy, less about the emotion that's connected to all the baggage. Okay, so this is why I prefer manifesting all of your desires, your magical life, your whole life, literally your whole life, not just one thing at a time, but your whole life using your energy instead of your emotions. All right, I would love to know what you are getting from this chat, what your takeaways are. It is one of my favorite topics, and the one that has changed my entire life as well. All right, let's see if I can stop sharing the screen. There we are. Okay, awesome. Okay, cool. All right, let me check your comments here. Love this. All right, fantastic. So here's my invitation for you guys this week. You guys all know, if you were on the taster a couple of weeks ago, or I guess it was last week, I think it was maybe the week before, we had a taster for the 5D Vibe Tribe. So I've got 3 main programs that I offer. And the 5D Vibe Tribe is really all about rewiring your subconscious. Okay. That is what we're doing. We're bringing new ways of being and thinking, cognitive thinking into your awareness. And then we're using your superconscious to transmute the stuckness, those old files. We're transmuting, we're supposed to like burning up those old files. And then we're implanting or stepping into embody is probably a better way to say it. This version of you that is stepping in. Okay. So it's not connected to all of that stuff. So we're sort of taking out the trash there. Now, the next program I've got that I love, this is what this whole workbook is from, is called Transform Yourself. And this is where we literally do the deep work. And this program is for people who have already made their 3D stepping into 4D consciousness, right? So that basically means that you have already, let me see if I have it on here. Oh, I can show it to you. Hold on, let me show it to you. It's easier if I show it to you anyways. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is the themes of consciousness. This is just a great way to explain what's going on. All right, so 3D, when you're in 3D, there's a lot of blame, there's a lot of victim, right? You've all had your 3D breakthrough, right, into 4D, so where you've had some sort of either spiritual awakening or consciousness awakening or self-responsibility awakening, where we go through and we go, oh my God, I'm not a victim. I don't have to be like my parents, right? I can actually create my life. And that's when we go, yes, yes, yes. we step up in here to the 4D and we're like, yes, I'm self-empowered. I have a can-do attitude. I'm positive. I'm productive, I'm willing to look at stuff. I'm introspective now. I've probably done a lot of clearing and a lot of healing. Okay, so this is 4D. What happens though is when we're ready for 5D, there's another upgrade that happens. And this is where we actually have to let go of this 4D identity, even though the 4D identity is like, but I'm so great. Look at all I've done, right? Because what happens is people started coming to me and they were like, but Cory, I have done all the work. I have cleared all the things. I have whatever, but something is wrong because I can't seem to get into that space of receiving everything I asked for. I can't seem to get into that space of going for the next level, right? There seemed to be this ceiling. Well, the ceiling is where we've made this 4D identity here. I don't know if I can highlight. I don't think I can. This 4D identity here really, really strong and right. We're proud of this, proud of all the work we've done. To go from 4D to 5D to fully embody, you've got to let go of that identity. Okay. And so this is the work right here where people are coming up against the stuckness and they go, what the heck? Why am I stuck again? I shouldn't be stuck anymore. I've got all these tools. I want to go to the next level where there's this expanded space of being. There's way less ego in this space. There's self-realization instead of self-empowerment. We can really observe our emotions. Now, the key right here to really embody on 5D is being able to master energy, 100%. Free of your unconscious identity, free of emotions, master of energy. Okay. And that's what I work with people on. So this program, the Transform Yourself program, what I do or what I'm doing right now is I am offering an energetic audit, basically, on your reality to see where are you with all of this, what's going on, and would the Transform Yourself program assist you in gaining the awareness, but also the ability to implement this next version of you that's trying to come in. Because the version of you that's now, if you're in 4D, is great, but the version of you in 5D is different. Okay, it's a different version of you. And this is where people get stuck, is they go, oh my God, I've done so much work. I thought I was good. I should be able to do that. No. Is anybody relating to this? I hear it all the freaking time. I don't know what's going on. I thought I had all the things. I thought I had all the tools. It's different, and you become the next version of you. So we've got to bring that future self in. So here's what I've got for you. Now the other program actually is called Creation Academy. And that one, the prerequisite to that is the Transform Yourself program. So the reason we do that is because the Transform Yourself program gives you everything that you need to make a breakthrough. So what you do is you tune into your future self, you set up a target, and the whole target for the 10 weeks is to have a breakthrough in that area. So no longer stuck, stepping into that future self. So we see the most amazing results with people because they're like, oh my God, I had to let go of my whole business. And now I'm moved on to the next, version of this business. They have breakthroughs in the areas that they've been stuck in, and they are starting to create momentum. And then Creation Academy is the support after that, because what happens is you go up and then you go down a little bit, and you go up a little bit, and you go down a little bit, up a little bit, down a little bit. So Creation Academy is about going up and then like this and then like this. So continuing that momentum so that you fully embody that next level consciousness for yourself. So are you interested in having a massive breakthrough and creating some momentum in this pop into 5D consciousness? If this is you, go ahead and DM me. Let's have a chat and see if the Transform Yourself program is something that you are interested in right now. And we'll do that through looking at your energy, looking at your life right now, looking at where you're stuck. And if it's a fit, then you can get right in, jump on in. And if it's not a fit, maybe the Vibe Tribe is if you're not in there yet. And maybe it's not. Maybe that's not where you are. Maybe there's something else that's better for you. But what I can say with 100% confidence is that if you're relating to anything that I've said so far, you might be stuck in 4D, okay? And you might be stuck reacting to your emotions instead of being an energetic master. So let me know, give me a DM, let's chat. I would love to connect and see what's possible for you right now. On the planet right now, you're not going to be able to avoid this transition. It's going to happen whether you like it or not. And if you're not consciously doing it, it can be what some people call that dark night of the soul. So where everything comes crashing down and all of that. There's an easier way if you learn how to manage your energy. All righty. All right. So just message me if you're interested. I'll give you all the details. And you guys are amazing. Oh, let me check your comments here. Karen says 5D and Transform Yourself are both amazing programs. My internal shifts in the last 3 months amaze me. Yes, Karen has made amazing shifts, especially in your business. It's been really amazing because what happens is we start to realize we're not aligned anymore. We've changed, right? And that's because that version of you is coming through, but you haven't let go of the old files yet. And sometimes we just don't know how. And whatever we're doing isn't working. But when we make the shift, then so much more of what you know will work even better, which is the amazing part. And then Tracy says, you don't even know you're stuck in the 40. You don't. You think you're empowered, but you start to get burned out. You start to go, okay, why is this not working? It should be working. You start saying stuff like that to yourself. All right. Yes, 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 yes. All right. Message me if you're interested. And I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. All right. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for being here today. I appreciate you. And I wonder what else is available. Bye.